Back again. I want to just start this video by saying I appreciate all the support on my last video. It really means a lot to me. You guys don't understand. I've always kind of wanted to do YouTube as like a thing, and seeing all the support I got just makes me like motivated to do this and continue it. But I appreciate you guys, and words don't describe how blessed I feel for, yeah. And I'm not even a big YouTuber or anything, but I still want to say like thank you for everybody who showed support, watching the videos, commenting, liking, sharing it with their friends. I appreciate you guys. So let's get into this one. This is gonna be the PVE tier list, and the PVE tier list is for pussies. Let me be honest, because if you're not playing with PvP on, you're fucking doing it wrong. Okay? So solo PvP, so it's gonna be like questing. Um I think that's it. Yeah, questing. Killing mobs, grinding, I guess, Bro, let's start off like with the simple. This combination, BIS, Hatchet is the best. Let's start. I'm repeating myself a lot, but when I think of the Hatchet, I personally don't like it. I personally will love for them to remove the part of Berserk, the buff you can get under it, where you no longer get staggered, but you can be stunned. Because I just feel like it ruins the game. Like, not really ruins it, but it can put a bad taste in some people's mouths, because literally this is an ability where it's up for like 20 seconds, 25 seconds, it has almost no cooldown, and it heals you. So it does a lot of things in one. And then also it doesn't allow you to take, or you don't get staggered. And for people who don't know, stagger in the game is basically like a mechanic of it. So it's supposed to make you want to block and dodge, but this, you hit that one button and it's just go time. It's left click simulator, you know what I mean? Like, you're fucking hitting as many abilities, auto attacks inside of this window for Berserk as possible, and then it has maybe like a 10-15 second cooldown. I forget what it is, but it lasts 20 seconds. So normally when questing, this is just your best slot. Like, for questing, you will literally just kill every mob. It's gonna heal you. You probably don't ever have to take healing potions and everything. You can literally, this is probably the best way to go when it comes to like the speed leveling. Maybe like this, and like maybe a bow or something. Probably a musket, I guess. So I do want to do, the great axe is gonna be actually to A tier. I don't like, I put them together, but in reality, for actually questing, this isn't that good. For questing, it's not that good. For cleaving during questing, it's fine. I think it's really good for that reason, for sure. But this can also kind of cleave, so everything can really cleave in the game. But we're gonna put bow, and I'm gonna put musket also, because range weapons during PVE questing is just too good. You can tag mobs from so far away, get credit from it if someone else is hitting it like from such a distance. And both of these are dexterity, if I'm not mistaken. Excuse me. But these are just like Hatchet, bow, and musket is probably the best for speed leveling, I could say, because again, the range, the healing, that you can probably burst everything with the Hatchet, and then if you need to tag something because multiple people are there, probably in like the first couple days, you can use one of these two. And the musket is probably easier. The bow is faster, but the musket is easier to land shots on, and you'll get tags. You can speed level. Uh, Honestly, I would probably put this down here. Life staff, I could put it at an A. It's probably, which is gonna be crazy. It's not S tier for the first fucking time. But the reason why it's not S tier is because most of the time you don't need healing if you're gonna have the hatchet. Like, and you're questing. So in reality, you got money, so you can buy a couple health potions. And if you want to maximize your speed, you just, again, you run hatchet and a ranged weapon, and there's just no stopping you. Like, you literally hit berserk, chop down everything. You, if you're light, also you can use your rolls to be even faster, get to check point A to point B very quickly. I put ice gauntlet here also. Again, I don't think anything else is going to A tier here, to be honest with you guys. Like, it's just no reason to try anything else except the rapier. Rapier goes S tier. I didn't talk about the ice gauntlet, I'm sorry, but this shit sucks. Like, magic isn't that good for leveling. um the rapier, though, the rapier, since it has very high attack speed and has a lot of like burst in it, it's just as good as the hatchet, just a weaker version, because the hatchet heals you. The hatchet heals you, and again, doesn't allow you to be staggered, so you can literally beat the shit out of things. So I'm sorry I keep talking about the hatchet, but the hatchet is literally fucking broken. We're gonna get past this little part because this part doesn't really need to take a lot of time. Don't use that shit. It's fucking garbage. Okay, look, we'll just put it here. Dog shit. Don't use it. Sword. B tier for sure because you can cleave. You have the shield, so you do a lot of work. Again, for leveling, not the best. Spear can also be in that category. Everything that doesn't like the worst thing about this is ammunition. Like I'm gonna sit here and say that I forgot about that. Ammunition is gonna be your worst thing, but in reality, doing questing it makes you run back to town repeatedly, so you can stock up on like 1,000 of them and literally go out there and never run out. So yeah, like this is for sure my PVE tier list when it comes to questing. I'm probably personally gonna use Rapier and like bow. I think I said this before to like level to start to like speed level my way through because I love the Rapier. It's just really fun to me, and I'm okay. Again, I don't like the berserk um taking away mechanics of fights and just me eating everything and being healed up passively. Kind of thing is stupid, but yeah, that's my tier list right there for PVE or questing. You know, I had to do this take like 5 different times because I didn't have the audio on. But hey, okay, look. I hope you guys know what this is. This is gonna be the tanking section. Like none of these like uh, uh, here, yep. Ooh, wait, what the fuck, yo? Okay, there you go. There you go. Mm, mm. Maybe like that. Let's do it like that. Okay, you have to fucking use the sword as a tank. You can't tank otherwise. Your secondary, on the other hand, I'd say one of these two, just because. Or I guess you could do gravity well. Let's take the. You know what? Yeah, let's do these three because gravity well is pretty good. CC shit is pretty decent, but as a tank, you're really just gonna be holding that sort of shield that you're probably never gonna put that motherfucker away because you have all your threat generation shit on there. So tanking in the game could use some work. We all probably know this. This is a very stupid quick like section. Like this should this is okay. Let's just move on. And here we come to the next part. This is the best part of the video, and yeah, if you see the weapon, you probably know what I'm gonna say. You heal, and that's it. All right, we're gonna continue. All right. To be serious, in all seriousness, you have to use the healing staff. Duh. Okay, so let's not even do that. But DPS. Now, I do think there's issues with DPS because this is again where I have an issue with the musket. And I gotta start with the musket because and it actually belongs there. My mouse fucked up, but it belongs there because the musket doesn't do that much damage. You have high burst damage. Doesn't really do anything to bosses. Honestly, kind of sucks. You don't really do much of anything to bosses. The reload time is way too long to where you can't do consistent damage. And then also there's a lot of mobs that do weird shit, like the ghost mobs that a lot of people probably know, and like some mobs when they run to you, they do a whole bunch of like jagged line runs. So you'll be trying to like trace them in the sword, and they'll just fucking hit a hard like fucking U-turn and just run the opposite way, and and then you have to reload, so you're just even more fucked. I think the great axe is an A. The damage is decent, but really I think where it shines is the cleave because it has such a wide cleave radius. You can do a lot of cleave. You have gravity well again. You have certain abilities. You have execute. You have a lot of things. Like the great axe is very very good here. Bow I actually think is A tier. Bow is A tier. Yes, it has the same issues as musket with things dodging, but again, it has higher attack speeds, so you can reload your fucking bow and hit way more often and way more consistently. So A tier. You know what? Actually, B tier because again, a lot of these mobs actually really do fuck you. Like when it comes to their running patterns, this only makes up for it because of the fact that the reload speed is just way higher than the musket. And musket DPS is already like about even. So it's like one has higher attack speed, one has lower attack speed, one has not consistent damage, but it's consistent in PVE because nobody's running or moving around. And then the other one is, you know, it already has low damage. So what's the point? Fire staff. Fire staff is A. Easy, easy. That's not the fire staff. Okay. Fire staff is A. I would put it S, but the issue with the fire staff is you run out of mana. I think the fire staff combined with Rapier intel build is very good, but we're talking only. Oh my goodness! I just realized, like, yo, game or thing tier list. Okay, fire staff. Fire staff. How I said, its issue is mana, mana. And somebody was like, "Oh yeah, you just use Ice Gauntlet, bro." I swear to God, if I pull that bitch one more time, I'm gonna be pissed. But they're like, "Oh yeah, if you use the Ice Gauntlet with it, you get your mana back really quick." No bullshit. It's not staying there, but bullshit. Like the downtime you have with the fire staff when it comes to your mana is fucking terrible. You don't have enough damage or you don't have. Let me be honest, the damage is really high again because you have a 15% crit chance. plus whatever crit you already have. So you crit very often. You have a lot of different burns and everything. You can have a lot of burst damage for AoE and single target is really, really solid. And you just run out of mana. So I want to do the Rapier next because of that reasoning. The Rapier combined with this is very good. The Rapier, again, is a solid weapon for the reason being it attacks very fast. It has basically no mana cost. I think it has no mana cost. It allows you to do a lot without doing a lot, to be honest. So you get to do a lot of damage. It's good. Fire Staff is good with it because you can do burst damage and then go into consistent damage. So you base. I think this could be actually the highest DPS. To be honest, I think this is the highest DPS if you land your spells. I think it's highest DPS. Hatchet. We're gonna put Hatchet before Rapier. Yeah. You know what? Actually, no, because this actually could be the highest DPS. But Hatchet, I already fucking said it multiple times. You literally turn off all mechanics of the game and hit your left click until something dies. That is the highest DPS, and it will always be the highest DPS. DPS stands for damage per second. And the reason why that's important is because that Great Axe obviously does higher damage. Fire Staff does higher damage than these two, but they have lower DPS because you have to reload this. You have to have mana regen for this, and you can't really get mana regen. You can chug hella potions, but I don't really recommend that because to me, even though the potions may be cheap and everything, I kind of think to myself like, why would you chug a whole bunch of potions when you could just switch to your Rapier, let your mana regen naturally, do a whole bunch of good damage, and then go back to this when you need it, or like just swap between it and like try to like stay consistent on your mana usage to where like start with Fire Staff, do all your bursts, do all your damage, and then swap to Rapier, do a good chunk, maybe hit like 75% or 75 mana, and then go back to Fire Staff, do your damage again, and then go back, and it's just a very good rotation. But all right, so Ice Gauntlet. I think I want to say Ice Gauntlet. In reality, it's the C, but it's not because a lot of the mobs in the game right now are like these withered or whatever. They're called wither and WoW, but corrupted or something like the little white goblin looking guys, and they all take extra damage from what's called ice. So this is just increasing your damage, and you can do a lot of damage. To be honest, you can do a lot of damage to them. To be honest, because of that reason. So I think this combo is pretty good, but the issue again is you run out of mana using this too much, and then you try to switch to Ice Gauntlet, and then sitting in that little pillar of frost for a whole bunch of time really isn't worth it. To be honest, I don't I think I did a lot of PVE in WoW, and for like mythic rating, you want to always be doing consistent damage. The things that do burst damage normally aren't that good, unless the burst damage is just that insane. Normally it's not, and if it is, it's broken. But you having to go in the little cocoon for that long, and the mana doesn't just like instant shoot up or nothing. It's more like a gradual gain, and you might as well just chug a potion at that point. But if you're just using this by itself, it's pretty good because again, a lot of the mobs are very weak to it. But be wary of skeleton creatures because skeletons actually, I think, take less damage from it. Actually, I think they take more damage from it too. With the Fire Staff, they take less damage. So be careful with the Fire Staff when it comes to skeletal dungeons. They will take less damage. Speared again. Spear is pretty okay. DPS, you know what? Yeah, I think it belongs down here. Spear is good. Spear is very good. You can find a lot of very decent spears. Again, double bleed is very hard to pass up. But said this in I think the PvP video. The spear's damage is very lacking. To be honest, it is a very heavy utility weapon or a dot weapon. You can use bleeds and everything, but bleeds at the moment, bleeds are very strong in this game, which I very much love. But when it comes to PvE, you're just trying to kill things, and dots don't really work that well in PvE. And I think they will balance this, not soon, but I think they will balance it to where basically dots and things like the spears and everything is all the weapons that can't do consistent damage will be able to sooner or later, or just be very OP to where they become S tier. So sword is A tier. I think sword is A tier. The sword has a lot of cleave to it, and that's why. Has consistent damage, a lot of cleave. You obviously have to use the shield with it, but if you're DPS, you know what? Okay, because we're trying to do max DPS here, we're trying to be very efficient. If there was like a raid type of thing, yeah, sword is not the play. So sword is B tier. I think everything is gonna be B tier from here on. Maybe not this, and obviously not the heal staff, but yeah, like sword could be B tier. I'm really trying to think about this because I think the sword is very good at PvE, I just don't think in a dungeon environment it's that good. Um, I think it stays in B. I think you shouldn't use it. I really honestly think you either go the average hatchet great axe combo, or you go the rapier fire staff combo. And now that I'm making this, and I probably will not make another one of these, it kind of seems like these are like always in the top, right? So these kind of need to be, well, I guess like I value these a lot, to be honest. I love them. I think they're very good and they're very strong. But yeah, these either they need to be reeled back a little bit, or they need just maybe the rest to be buffed. To be honest, I'd rather them buff everything else instead of reeling them back, because having things that are overpowered and fun instead of everything just being kind of weak and shitty is it's not fun. You much rather have everything kind of be OP, and then they like slowly nerf it back down to where it's like even and competitive with everything. Hammer dog, brother. Hammer's dog. It's not a dog as the musket, because the musket does actually no damage, but the hammer in PVE does a lot of damage because the mobs are now standing still. The CC does really no damage. This I would recommend the hammer if you're a tank more than anything. But again, as a tank, there gets to a point where you can literally like you get like 10k HP, and you should just never put your shield down. Basically, you just basically always have the shield out. You don't want to put it away. So hammer could be down here because the shockwave doesn't do that much damage. The knockdowns don't do that much damage. Yeah, they all don't do that much damage again. Like, but the swings hit hard, but they're very slow, and that's an issue. Slow weapons not good for PVE. Heal staff, we're gonna put a D. Yeah, D. I don't think the heal staff has any. I didn't play with the heal staff that much, to be honest, but I don't think it has any DPSing capabilities really. And if it does, why not just take a DPS weapon if you're trying to DPS? So yeah, this would be the tier list for that, for dungeon slash rating content. Again, I really recommend trying out both of these combos. Let's move it like this combo and this combo. Intel builds for this, strength build for this, with some constitution in both of them, and you'll do a lot of damage. We'll have to see how the bow and the musket gets changed, if it gets any changes come launch, because the fact of the matter is the bow can stay in dungeons. To be honest, the bow does very, how I said, the bow does good damage, has very high reload speeds, so it's very good. The musket has very low reload speeds and it's very dog. Like it does good damage, but the reload speed is just so bad it's really hard to make viable, to be honest, unless you want to actively be rolling around the place to try to get that reload faster, which is a problem because normally you just want to save your stamina to get out of hits, and you don't want to just be spamming it. I don't think that's okay. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I think I said at the start of this video, but I want to say it again. I appreciate all the support on my last video. I was up until like 2 a.m. waiting to see that 100 view mark and everything, and it's just unreal sometimes. Like some people may think that's nothing, whatever, but I'm very appreciative of like everyone just supporting me and everything, because you guys never had to watch the video in the first place. And again, I appreciate you guys for doing that. And I just remember, before I end this video, I have to say this more to like get consistent. Um, if you guys liked the video, leave it a like. If you liked it even more than that, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. But everyone have a great day. I'm gonna make another video about New World pretty soon. My thoughts about the end game of New World and the future of it. So I hope you all have a great day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Deuces.